Hi, I just started this and I'm looking, it's telling me to swipe things. So I'm like, what do I swipe? Hi, I just started, so I'm not quite talking yet. Good morning. Oh goodness, the sun's about to set. I don't know if you can see it. That's the sun setting in North Carolina. We'll see her again tomorrow. Hi, people who are just joining. Hi. I just started this, so I'm not quite into it yet. Hi, other Rebecca. So yeah, how's everybody's full moon going? I feel like I have been experiencing a lot of emotions in the last few days. Oh, you're in Australia. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I feel like you're on the other side of the world. Mexico. Hola. Hello. My necklace. So this is black quartz with copper around it. It's for protection. I'm not super into crystals, but I do enjoy some. If there's a thing that I'm gonna wear around my neck, it's probably gonna have a rock involved. Just makes me happy. Where I'm from, I'm originally from outside of Greensboro, North Carolina. Yeah, Gemini. I am a Gemini rising, so I feel you. Oh, it was a shark tooth. Yeah, that'd be cool if it was a shark tooth. I'm not typically drawn to bones and such, but that would be cool. Hi, Asheville. I miss Asheville. I haven't been since the pandemic really started, so I miss Asheville. Geminis, what's up? Is it bad to wear jewelry someone died in? I would just say cleanse it first. That's fine. Sagittarius, hello. I've got some Sag in my chart. Is it a Sagittarius moon? No. Oh, thanks for the flowers. What is my moon? Why am I forgetting it? I think it is a Sagittarius moon. Oh, okay, so we have somebody firsthand who says ghosts can hurt you. Yeah, so we got some people joining the live. Basically, what I wanted to do was address some questions I've been getting in the comments from folks on a lot of different sides of can ghosts do this, can ghosts do that. So I really wanted to go into more detail as far as, oh, thank you. Goodness, all of you so kind. Thank you. I wanted to go into detail as far as what happened to Jay, what was projected to Jay, how that affected him on a physical level and an energetic level, as well as what Jay could have been doing to protect himself and didn't because he's a bit more out of practice on this thing. I've had some commenters say things like, whoa, she talks about shielding all the time and she let this happen. Well, I'm worried about myself. I'm going to trust that Jay does what he needs to do. And he admitted this too on the live, which all these lives I'm going to be posting on my YouTube later. And yeah, he admitted that he put his shields down and that was not smart. Especially with how he was going at George, basically. So that's one thing with shielding, but also with shielding, it is something you have to continuously work on. It's not like you put a shield up and you are one and done. I live in one of the most haunted cities in the United States, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's an ongoing thing, okay? So what happened with Jay, okay? What happened with George? What happened with Jay? Let's break it down, okay? So Jay and I were walking by the courthouse. This video is already out. And Jay is very vocal about his thoughts on George. Now, George retaliated because Jay understood that George was there, but George was trying to offer a rebuttal on the situation and to defend himself verbally. But Jay, being primarily clairsentient, was not hearing it. He was not picking up on it. And so as a form of being heard, George retaliated and he did something not so nice. All right. Now, what George was projecting was a letter opener, which he shoved into Jay's back. All right. Now, this was a spirit letter opener. Okay. So the way you have to imagine it as far as the effect that it has on the body is like this. If you have muscles like this and something shoves something into those muscles, they're going to do this. Now, if it's in the physical, you have to pull the thing out, right? If it's just like the imprint of it, it's just the imprint, but you still have to do the necessary work to mend the muscles. So Jay, it wasn't like he felt it immediately. It was more like a cramp that was growing in his back, okay? It was a muscular thing. And that's why he was talking to me at the time, wondering, was it a, like he wondered if it was a kidney stone, if he was like getting a cramp or something like that. But he felt something specific and sharp near his kidney, okay? So on the energetic level, what I essentially was doing was, this is something that Reiki people do. It is a practice in many different cultures. It's allowing yourself to feel others' energy, okay? This is not so weird. As I said, look into Reiki. It is the same thing. I went down his back. I was feeling the flow of energy in his back, and I realized that there was this kind of knotted up material right about where he said he had a kidney stone. The thing is, though, it felt like something energetically was blocking. A kidney stone is a physical block, right? This was an energetic block. So that's what we're dealing with. He pushed, I pulled, we removed it. So that is how spirits can harm, okay? Now, it was not literally bleeding, okay? There was no, it's not like I pulled out a letter opener and I was like, aha, like that's what it was. Where did it come from? How did he get this in you? Like how? And it was nothing like that. It's honestly not so dramatic. This does happen to people. I've had it happen to myself before I was doing regular practices to shield myself. There's a video coming out next week where I talk about something that stuck its claws into my shoulder. And it wasn't the claws so much that I felt. It was like itty bitty knots going around my shoulder, okay? And once I removed it, the knots were gone, okay? So, yeah, with that, here's the thing. If you do proper shielding, which I do a video on talking about shielding your thoughts, that's a starting point. I'll probably do more videos on shielding you can do for your full body, for your head, for your crown chakra. If you do that, in theory, you don't have to, work so hard to constantly, you don't have to worry about this so much, okay? But you also have to listen to your gut and your intuition. If you go into a situation and you start, say, insulting a growing in power spirit, and, Jay probably should have taken a step back to just say, I'm going to shield up before I continue this. He did not do that. So it's necessary to, take that moment if you need it and shield up as necessary in order to not get hurt. Yes, there are accounts where people actually do get scratched, or there's like blood involved or bruises or things like that. Those have happened, though that's typically something that has to grow over time. That's something that gains in power. To people who are like, George is a demon now, I did a video about demons, okay? George is a soul that is collecting a lot of power right now. And this is something truly unique with what has happened, okay? I don't know if it has ever happened in history for a spirit to be pretty much obscure and then be known by literally millions across the world. And the thing is, yeah, I do think he is a narcissist, okay? I do get those tendencies. I did not initially. And I'm learning. That's the whole thing. I even say in my most recent video that, I may have gotten a few things wrong at the beginning. I may have taken a few feelings in a different direction or something like that, because I'm learning. And that was well over a year ago. So much has happened. So that addresses another question. When people are like, mediumship, you should just know everything all the time. No, we're all learning. It's like if you become a lawyer and you've been, studying for so long, every time you go into a courthouse, you're learning more. P.S. If you're wondering who George is, you should probably go check the George playlist. Because that is a long story that I don't think I can fully get into and still honor everybody else's comments. So yeah, mediumship is absolutely a learning thing. This is why I don't offer traditional courses for people. This is why I'm not taking on apprentices. It's because I recognize where I am and how I'm learning. However, I will gladly recommend courses and people who are taking on apprentices, people who I trust. But the reality is, I've always said that I'm going to be honest with all of you, even if it means me either making a mistake, me misinterpreting something, or just me being like, rando me, okay? I'm trying to think of other comments to address. Yeah, other things. The videos that have come out this week happened well over a month ago. So for everybody who has been checking in, thank you. Everybody who's been like, are you okay? You know, is this okay? You know, don't go back to George. I'll tell you, since this happened, I've been back twice. And the first time it was pretty much George being like, basically George did apparently another narcissistic thing, which I won't go fully into, but he was like doing more to take the high road, essentially. Hi, Stephanie. And yeah, that's a conversation. It'll be coming out in a few weeks, but it was fine. It was safe. You know, Rupert was watching, Jimothy was watching, like everybody's good. Hello, new people who are just joining. And then the second time that I went back was because Kat, who's also Spooktastics on here, she was in town and she wanted to meet him. So I went back, and of course I was very safe about it. I made her aware of what was coming out in the videos this week so that she understood what was going on. And we had, basically I channeled, and she had a conversation with George for about 2 hours. And it was fascinating. And I felt safe. Like, I think it's more important to understand what you're dealing with before you talk to it, before you just like talk to anything. So now I know a lot more about George. I'm not regularly seeing him. He and I are not communicating as much as we used to. It even used to be when I would just like drive by the courthouse, I would say like, hey, good morning. And he'd be like, good morning. And that would kind of be it. We have created distance, and I think both of us, like, I know for me that is good. For him, he says it's good. We're gonna see how much that turns out to be. I know Kat is going to create some videos from her experience with him, and I'm very much looking forward for others to see another perspective out with George. So that's not to say there won't be any more George content to come out. I'm really curious to see what all of this reaction is going to do to him. I will be honest, I'm a little concerned that he's gonna like being seen as the bad guy, but I also really appreciate that so many of you in my comments, like so many of you who are watching, understand what red flags look like, and you know, are very much about talking about consent and showing kindness to one another. Like, honestly, so many of you give me just so much faith in the future. I'm like, this will be a society of consent and understanding and feeling and emotive care. And I'm while we're in a very hard time energetically and we're just dealing with a lot of stuff, I know things are going to get better. Thank you. And yes, I will tell Rupert that people are saying hi. So other thing I wanted to address really quickly, because this is like turning into the like addressing live, and then I'll start answering some questions. Somebody referred to Molli as a succubus. Yeah, okay, so you all know my feelings on demons if you've watched that video. I am going to go out and just say, hey, Molly's a friend of mine. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. She is a very genuine, kind soul. She is someone who is always just 100% herself. And I respect that. I respect it. A spirit enjoying the energy of intimate relations, if you get me, is not bad. Like literally, I've had a lot of consultations this week, and one of them was a person whose partner had passed a few years ago, and I was picking up on the person who had passed, and they were telling me things, and I was like, cool, great. And then it came to like a projection of the bedroom, and I was like, okay. And the past person showed me a corner that they would stand in, and then they showed me the bed, but fortunately there was like this big black hole over the bed, so like specifically this spirit was not showing me what was happening in the bed, which I'm very glad about, because I appreciated the censorship, because I'm like literally with the person online during this consultation, and I told them that I was like, I don't see anything. But here's the thing, do you ever feel like you're being watched when you're in the bedroom with your current partner? And the person I was with said, yeah, I kept playing it off. That past person is not a sex demon. In fact, the person was happy that the alive person was able to enjoy the physical nature with their current partner. Okay. And they also enjoyed watching, which, you know, by the way, is fine. Like, I talked with the person, and I said, so long as that is consensual with you and you're fine, you know, and I told her, I was like, talk to this person. It doesn't hurt anybody. It might make you uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Spirits live off of energy entirely. Okay. So they can be around sometimes. And that's why it's important to, thank you for the cream, shield and cleanse your space. So that way you know if somebody's in there or not. If that can happen with somebody who somebody knew in the physical, why couldn't that happen with somebody who was physical, you know, however many hundreds of years ago? It is an energetic transfer. And I explained this in a video, you know, talking about what is being intimate, right? It's energy. It's an energetic transfer. It is not demonic. It's just what we do. It is a show of care. It is a show of support. So yeah, for anybody who's showing Molli hate, I'm like, wow, no, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to allow that, because it's actually incorrect. So I'm trying to think if that's all the things that I wanted to cover before I start getting to questions. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. P.S. If you follow TED, Claire Manship, who is on TED now as TED Talk, I went to school with her, so that's cool. I don't know if Molli, thank you. I don't know if Molli was, actually no, Molli did say that she had a few lovers, and they didn't like her making more money than them. That's the thing. I have a high respect for Molli. You know, like, she made her own way. She wasn't going to let anybody else make a way for her. And I respect her. And so that's, once again, when people are like, she's a sex demon because she wants to have sex, you know, I'm just like, no, she's herself. She's herself. She enjoys people being happy, and she enjoys being happy. That's it. That's it. Let's see. So, Molli knows she's a ghost. Yeah. And there will be more Molli content starting tomorrow, because, like, literally we were at the street fair, and Jay was like, do you know if Molli's around? I was like, I don't know. She's going to come out. And then, like, it was like she heard my ping. And yeah. So, yeah, we had a very fun time. Let's see. let's see. Tell Molly she's a girl boss. Yeah, for real. We found out through the live that Molly came from the, like, roughly 1830s. And by the way, for anybody who's like, where is that live? TikTok ate it. So yeah, we're planning on doing another live because both Holly and Molly, who is the potter, we were all like, this is really fascinating. And we're also going to talk to the other woman who we met during the live, which also, confirmation as a medium. I got the sense that somebody had sat down, and it was right before I said anything. Molly the barista and Holly the historian. Molly was like, whoa, I just got something really cold on, I think she said her leg. And then Holly was like, oh, I wasn't going to say anything, but my arm just got really cold. And I reached over because I was like, what? And I reached over and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. By the way, someone's sitting with us. It wasn't Molly, by the way. I think her name is Fanny, and she is from the 1920s. She wears a flapper dress, and she's actually pretty quiet and really, really sweet, and I like her, so I do want to talk to her more. And Molly likes her too. They seem to be getting along very well. Yeah, so it's possible for anybody to channel a spirit. You first have to realize what your psychic senses are, and then you build them, you work on them. You also, I recommend for people who have had experiences in the past and no longer have them, to figure out what trauma is blocking that. And you don't have to, like, relive the trauma. You just have to acknowledge it and let it go. And yes, so long as TikTok is good to me, this live and the last two lives, one was with Jay and one was with Rupert this week. All of those are going to be on my YouTube. It's Quirks and Conjure. And you can find it on my website as well as my bio here on TikTok. I do post my lives so long as they come through. So far, so good. Yes, Jay is okay. If you want to ask Jay about his kit, you can go over to his channel. I don't know all the things that are in his kit because honestly, I just never committed it to memory. He works with Appalachian root magic. Appalachian magic. So he has a collection of bones and roots and seeds and just a lot of things. So yeah, ask him those questions. We did a live 2 days ago where he talked about, more about his practice and like things that he do, and that's things that he do. So I am going to put that on YouTube soon, like all within the same week. Do I think George was a narcissist when he was alive? Yes. And I think it actually killed him, or got someone to kill him. Let's see. For some, when I see questions that are repeated, I am going to move to new questions just because I'm going to be posting this live on YouTube. So if you don't get your question answered, I probably already went over it, at least if I'm seeing it. Has George apologized to Jay? No, and he refused to. In fact, not tomorrow, but the next day is going to be a video where Rupert, Molly, Jay, and myself, we had to go walk back by the courthouse because Jay forgot his phone in the car. There's no way to avoid it because it's an entire block. So, yeah, there will be a video with Molly meeting George. She handles herself very well. Are we surprised? No one's surprised. What if Molly would catch feelings for Jay? Molly actually really likes Jay, and I'm fine with it. Like, I think that's also a compliment to me for winding up with him. So, Molly really likes Jay. Which I was like, I'd leave you two alone, but I don't know how much you would pick up for translation. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm getting questions about the Claires. Okay, so the clairs, the psychic senses, you have claircognizant, which is just like knowing stuff sometimes. It's great if you can guess right numbers, or if you it's just knowing stuff sometimes. It's like the other day I just got this like nudge of I needed to text a friend of mine who I hadn't talked to in like roughly a week, and I wasn't fully sure what was going on, and I found out that he was actually going through a lot of like really stressful stuff that morning, and he was like, how did you know to contact me? And I said, I got a ping. So that's claircognizant. There is clairaudient, so that's using your ears. It can either be your literal ears or like the voice inside of your head, which is like a blend of claircognizant and clairaudient. It's important to be able to distinguish your thoughts from any other thoughts that you may be getting, and that takes practice. And this is when I'll also say, oh yes, because people, I still every now and then will get comments, people saying, wow, she's schizo. That is highly insulting, not only to mediums but also to people who are struggling with schizophrenia. Mediumship and schizophrenia do work very differently, and I've also been tested for schizophrenia. Came back negative. You're welcome. Okay. If anybody out there has doubted my abilities, at some point or another, it was me first. If somebody out there thinks that I'm just a total loon, believe me, it was me first. And then I decided against that. And now I want to create a platform where people feel like they can be themselves. I'm an advocate for mental health. I go to therapy every single week because I want to offer the best version of myself, primarily for me. And then if that helps with other people, even better. Okay. So yeah, I have had conversations with people where it's not a spiritual thing, and I say, hey, have you considered this? Have you gone to a psychiatrist? Like, make sure, right? Those actually are few and far between, honestly, when I have to say like, hey. So wanted to address that now that that's out of the way. So we talked about clairaudient. Let's talk about clairvoyance. So that means clear vision. Okay. Some people see literally with their eyes. Some people see with their mind's eye. Okay. There is clairsentience. Clairsentience is being able to pick up on the energetic frequencies around you. So that's being able to feel the energetic frequencies around you. There's clairtangency, which is a kind of clairsentience, which is where you can touch things and you can sense a feeling or a memory associated with them. There's one for nose, like there's one for smelling, which I don't remember. But people do smell ghosts. That is a thing. And then there's one for taste. I don't fully know how that works. I don't think I have it. But that is a clairsense. And then there's also a newer clair that's being understood, which is clairemotive. That's the clair of the empath. That's just being able to pick up on emotions around you. Now, as far as what I have, when I'm recreating these conversations to make videos, I am pulling upon my claircognizance, my clairvoyance, my clairemotive, and my clairsentience. And all of that pulled together is able to create a conversation or a memory that I'm able to process and speak sometimes. Sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, how do I use my words? How do I use my words to put that into something understandable to other people? So yeah, those are the clairs. That's a good question. I get that a lot, and I'll be posting this on YouTube again so that people can review them as they want. I do recommend looking into them because everybody has some of these abilities in some sense, and you may have just not realized it until you figure out that you got it. Good friend of mine, she's opening up her clairaudience. She was also tested for schizophrenia, came back negative. She had a lot of invasive thoughts, a lot of things that just weren't lining up, but then she would just randomly hear conversations that were directly tied to the locations that she was in. And basically she shut it off for a while because it was really scaring her. And then she and I were talking more, and it encouraged her to start opening up a bit more. And so she started to do exercises and to open up more. And it was funny because she and I were in the same place and we were translating for the same spirit. And she heard it through her ears. I heard it through like more claircognizantly and kind of through the wavelengths. So I translated what I heard or what I received. And she said, oh, that makes so much sense because I just heard this. Now, some of the words were a little bit off, but the meaning was exactly the same. So it really pays to have friends with different like psychic abilities, because it's a really cool way to test, you know, one, validity and feel better about things, but two, to also understand how that works. And it's super cool. That's one thing I know sometimes in like the medium and psychic community, people like just want to tear each other down. I'm not about that. I want to learn from other people. I think that is fascinating. And I think there's enough room for all of us to feel empowered and to get answers on our own, you know? If one day no one needed a consultation from me anymore, I would be like, the world is a great place. Thank you for the roses, by the way. That would make me very happy. And that's why I do what I do. And I hope that other people will do that too. I hope that, you know, if people are having these, thank you for all the gifts, oh my goodness, if people are having these experiences, that they have other people to talk to and somebody who will listen and somebody who will help them grow and not be afraid of these things. I've told people a number of times I used to be very afraid, and that's why I shut things down, and somewhere along the line, here I am. It's a long story. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate them. So yeah, goodness, what is my limit with George? I should ask myself that question. I don't know. And that's the thing, I still don't regularly speak to him. After what happened with Jay, I was like, dude, that was not necessary. That's not okay. And when I consider some of the closest people to me, both corporeal and incorporeal, are like, hey, he's no good news, I gotta listen to my inner circle. Somebody asked me the other day, this is a really good question. They said, what do your spirit guides say about George? So here's the cool thing with my spirit guides. They are very laissez-faire. Or my main one, who I've been working with recently, she's very laissez-faire because she wants me to learn and grow. And because of that, it's very rare for her to just stop me from doing something. And sometimes I do go into situations, and this is a while ago before like I really started to do more shielding work. I made a few videos about this in the past, like around Gallows Hill and stuff like that, where basically the conversation from my spirit guide works like this. Hey, you sure you want to go up there? Me. Well, yeah, I was thinking about it. Hey, are you sure you want to go up there? Me. Well, should I not? I don't think you should. I was going to go up there though. You sure you want to go up there? That's the conversation with my spirit guide. And I love her. She's great. I don't so much bother my ancestors on this sort of thing. The ones that I knew in the physical before they passed, just because they're working a lot for my other family right now. And by the way, I get that question a lot where people are like, whoa, do you know people who lived and then passed? Yeah, I've experienced something with every member of my family who has passed. And one, that is cool. It always makes me cry, like every single time, the first time that happens, because I'm just like, you know, like even after I've had all these experiences with spirits, I still get like choked up because I'm like, hi, you were, and I was, and now you're. That's me. But I don't make stories or videos about them just because they know so many other people in the living right now that would be directly affected by those videos, and I don't think that's fair to everybody else. So that's why I stick to ghosts that, to my understanding, have no understandable, like no living relatives that they're aware of right now. Now, they probably have, relatives, some of them. I'm pretty sure Jimothy had an older sister who had children. Thank you. But I don't know his last name. So, and Jimothy is also not his first name. And we've established this. What was it? There's going to be a video coming out because Jimothy and Rupert have been hanging out with each other more. Which I love it. I love it. But pretty much Rupert was like, "That's your name?" And Jimothy's like, "Yep." And Rupert's also like, "Your real name?" "Nope." "And you go by a fake name?" "Yep." And Rupert was just so like astonished by this, because he was like, "But your name means something to you. Why wouldn't you go by your actual name?" And Jimothy's sitting there like, "Because I'm all of me here. I'll be whatever name I want to be because I'm entirely myself." Like, this is him with suspenders, like him just being like, "What?" And all the while, like, Rupert is like still trying to figure out a lot of things about himself and like his likes and dislikes and all that stuff. So yeah, like it's really hysterical, the two of them. I love both of them. How do you get better at reaching your spirit guides? A really basic thing you can do is start asking for signs and make it specific, literally for fun, because this was recommended to me. It was to a group. I was with a group of spiritual people trying to make themselves better. And the person leading it was like, "Hey, just sync up with your guide, like get in a quiet spot, project the thought, and then say, hey, I want this to be a sign. Whenever I need to see something, whenever I need to experience something, I'd like to see this. Or I'd like to know that you're just there supporting me when you do this." And I was like, okay, dogs. I like dogs. I love dogs. They're great. I'm a dog person, I got a dog. Like, I was like, sure, let's go with it. Hey, spirit guides, I want to see dogs. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, there are dogs everywhere, which is good. There should be dogs everywhere, properly taken care of dogs. But after this happened, I started to see dogs in random places. I can't tell you how many dogs I saw hanging out of windows on the road when I was in a stressful situation in traffic. I'd be like, and then I look over, and then there's a dog looking at me through the window. And then the window would go down, and I'd just be like, this dog is connecting with me. The amount of times that I've made direct contact with dogs since then. And, one, it's not like a weird thing, like obviously gonna see dogs where I go, but the amount of dogs in the most random places and like happy dogs. And that's the thing with spirit guides. Like, sure, you can ask for a hard sign if you want, but if you could ask for an easy sign, why not? It makes me happy. So that's a way you can start connecting with your spirit guides more. Hey, I saw something about help. So consider a consultation with me. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I don't think I can handle it in a live right now. P.S. Other thing, I do not DM people pretty much on Instagram ever out of the blue offering free anything. Okay. If I do ever, what I'm going to do is DM you and say, hey, can you please email me here? And that's always corksandconjure@gmail.com. Or, hey, can you fill out a contact form on my website? I do not randomly DM people offering readings and then asking for credit card information. That is a scam. Report and block them. I do this. I've reported so many people. I've blocked so many people. It keeps happening. I'm doing the best that I can. It's the most that I can do without being verified. Now, why I'm not verified, I don't know. I've literally looked up what makes a person verified. And TikTok is like, you have to be on the news. I've been on the news. You have to be working with a verified source. I'm on Travel Channel, like the social media. Other people have to know that you're real. I've been on like 10 different podcasts on this point. So I'm just like, I'm real. Please verify me so that I can report these other pages so that people don't get scammed. That's the thing. I hate that people are scamming people who are just trying to have a good time and just wanting to talk to me, and that really makes me angry. And I wish that there was more that I could do. And here we are. So TikTok, Instagram, please verify me so that you might take my reports seriously. Because right now they're not. Anywho, thanks for the gifts. Yeah, Jay's fine now. That happened almost a month ago at this point. So he is good. We did a live together 2 days ago. And I answered a lot of questions on George and how, ghosts can hurt you and what you can do about that. It's not common. George is getting a little bit too big for his britches right now in the whole energy sector. I guess we gave him too much love. How awful, right? How awful. Am I right? You should be able to give love to someone, and they shouldn't sit there and be like, I'm going to stab somebody over. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway. So where was I going with this? Yeah, I'll be posting these lives on my YouTube. That's Quirks and Conjure. It's linked in my bio, so long as TikTok continues to give me the lives to download. And I say that because twice they didn't. So, but there will be more lives going up on my YouTube this week, probably like every other day, which is pretty exciting. Will Jay and me be traveling once things open up? Yeah, we might make some shorter trips this winter. We were planning on going like south, like hit up Charleston and Savannah, St. Augustine, Key West. We were going to go to New Orleans. Don't know about that now. Just because we want to be safe. And here's the reality. Both of us are vaccinated, but you can still get COVID. And let me tell you, if we are on the road with 2 pets and we're in the van, so we're not going to be staying at campgrounds. We're not going to be in hotels. Like, we're going to be going from place to place, living out of parking lots. Okay. Getting sick on the road sounds absolutely miserable. So that's why we haven't hit the road. We are both sad about it. It's something that we both really want to do. But for us, we're just having to do what we feel we need to do. But I am looking to go to Savannah and maybe New Orleans. Maybe this winter, because it'll be warmer there. No, I won't be going to New Orleans within like the next month. So we're good. It would like take a while to drive down there. So that's a logistic. Austria, hi. Oh, I missed the rest of that comment. I'm getting so many comments. Thanks, everybody. I don't know if George was a criminal in a last life. To my understanding, he was a clerk. I think he just he likes the tea a bit too much. He likes the drama, he likes attention, and he likes the power. And now he's famous. And now I'm like, dang, George, if I had known you were going to be like this, I would have had some second thoughts. So, yeah, there was a distinct change, I think, with George. One, when we did the live at the courthouse, and, like, there were 2 other spirits there that we knew about, with Jimothy being one of them. And you can check that live on Quirks and Conjure. It's the YouTube. He didn't like being read into so much. And here's the thing with like having psychic senses, you can sometimes pick up on how somebody passed because the residual energy of the pain is still there. It's kind of hard to describe, but sometimes you can like feel it or you can see it. It was interesting. Both Sorsha and Kat, when she visited, picked up on how he passed, and it was the same thing. So, yeah, I don't think he's come to terms with that. I don't think he's come to terms with who did it. And I don't think he's fully come to terms to being a ghost, which is strange. Because, like, he'll sit there and talk about, like, how much power he has. And, like, and when I say power, I mean, like, being able to go through walls and, like, do whatever he wants and, like, that kind of thing. It's not, like, him going crazy or anything. But then I think he's also angry about the life that he wanted to have. Like, he wanted to be more, he wanted to get older, he wanted a lot. And I don't know if he dealt with all of that. So it's just kind of created anger. And yeah, now he has people seeing him as a person again, instead of like some spook that, you know, walks out of walls and, you know, that kind of thing. And I think it kind of went to his head. Here's the thing with that. Like, that's not, we should consider souls outside of the corporeal still souls. You know, a lot of them still have emotions and they have opinions and they're still very much people. So it's not bad to acknowledge and to treat them with the basic human decency that, you know, we would in life. And what's sad is, like, George has been such an example of, you know, like, cool, sentient, aware ghost for so long, and now he's done this, and that makes me sad. Like, yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna address something else real quick. Somebody said that the content was getting dramatic for views. No, I just figured people wanted to know why I'm not talking to George so much anymore. So, also, when we talk about what gives me the most views, it's happy stuff. It's not drama. Like, logistically speaking, if I have something going for me, I'm not going to change it just to be dramatic. Like, that's dumb, right? That is the thing. There was a video that went viral. It was a little ghost kid eating an almond, and it just, you know, right up there. And so many people were so moved by that. And I was like, great. Like, this is the content that I want to put out there. I don't want people to be afraid. I want people to be understanding. That's the kind of content that I love making, and I think people love to watch so much. Thank you. So, like, yeah, that's the thing. I don't appreciate it when people say that I do things to get views, because I've said this to people privately. I've said this publicly. I want to make people less afraid. I want to make spirits seem human when they are human. I want people to have more understanding of their own strengths and abilities. That's what matters to me. And I want to be honest about me as a human, and I'm not perfect and I've made mistakes. And so my thought is, if I can get vulnerable and share with other people my mistakes, maybe they won't make them themselves. So the whole thing with George is, I don't know. It's one of those things, time will tell, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen after all these videos go out about him. I don't know if he enjoys that attention. Like, I was asking a friend the other night, I said, do you think he did this intentionally to get more of this kind of attention? To, I don't know, get that energy boost or something? And really, we were just like, we don't know. For me, it's just sad, you know? Like, I considered him a friend. So I don't know. The good news is, I talk with other spirits who are genuine and kind and good. What did he do? You should check my recent videos. Oh my goodness. Here's another thing. Some of you have missed videos in the George playlist. Yeah, some of you have definitely missed videos in the George playlist. I do label all of them by order, and the recent ones are always top, and then the rest of them are all in order, going straight down. So all you have to do is go down. If you are confused, do check out the playlist. I try to be as straightforward as possible. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, so... Yep. So some of these questions, once again, I just went over at the beginning of the live, and I actually hear my dog inside. She's like, "Mer." I saw one question about dogs passing. They do typically stick around. Everything has an energy and a soul within it, so they all have the choice to do what they want. So I have channeled for dogs before with doing consultations. But anyway, things to say. This live, so long as it processes correctly through TikTok, is going to be up on my YouTube within the week. And yeah, I hope you check it out, because I answered a lot at the very beginning, and I'm kind of tired just because I did consultations all day, and I have a full day of consultations tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. I just want to save my energy for that. And yeah, if you want to check out that live, it's going to be on Quirks and Conjure. That is on my bio. It's on the YouTube, or you can check out the website, which is also on my bio. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate you creating a welcoming community for me to be myself and be as honest as I understand how to be. And I look forward to moving forward with everybody. The spooky season has been a lot. Full moon has been a lot. And next week I'm going to be doing some replays of my favorite videos from last year, as well as explaining some more spookier stuff. And I'll do my best to keep stuff coming. So thank you again, and I will see everybody later. So have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Okay.